Hey guys, how you doing? And today we're going to talk about Bill and Ted's Face the Music. Now, I know I'm a little bit late to the scene, but I finally was able to get my hands on a copy of it digitally, and I'm going to give you my 2 cents. Now, there will be spoilers ahead. You've been warned. Here we go. Now, overall, what I think of this movie, I gave it about 7 out of 10. It was okay. Had some funny moments, but generally formulaic and forgettable. And I place it definitely better than Bogus Journey. I did not like Bogus Journey much. I put that around a 6.5. Just found it dumb. But it still does. But Face the Music does not even come close to hitting the highs of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures. I don't know if that's nostalgia or just better writing on the first one. Plus, George Carlin was in it. So, George Carlin already, biases me because I think he's one of the greatest comedians to have ever fucking lived. But hey, that's just me. Oh, and I will give Face the Music this, their little nod to George Carlin and their kind of little memorial to him. I thought that was a sweet touch. In fact, there were a lot of member berries and callbacks to the previous 2 movies, which I did enjoy. So props to them on that. Though my favorite part of the movie had to be the daughters. I mean, call me nuts. It wasn't even Bill and Ted because, no offense to Keanu Reeves, he was trying way too hard to be Ted and not to be more like John Wick. And I could just tell throughout the entire movie that he's trying to, be the funny, goofy Ted he used to be, and he pulls it off at times, and other times he's really trying to be Ted, and you could tell it's just, oof, Keanu, oof. And that was one of the major drown facts. And the guy playing Bill, he went whole hog. He was glad to be back. Keanu Reeves, I think he was kind of happy to, hit back on a role he hadn't played in a while, but you could tell he's just in a different mindset. It's just the way it is. But back to the daughters. The daughters were just as goofy and into music as their dads were. In fact, they are just literally just treasure troves of music. And I like the joke of, used to call them boys because in Bogus Journey, yeah, they were supposed to be boys, but they're actually played by girls. So they played on that joke. So that was kind of funny. But it's kind of a swan song for Bill and Ted, but it also opens up for the daughters to step in and, hand off the story to them if they want to go that route, which I honestly wouldn't mind seeing those 2 come back and do a solo movie just on them, because they were funny as hell. I thought they were outstanding. And at certain times, yeah, they did outshine their father, especially when they started going back kind of like their fathers did, but instead of getting historical figures for a history report, they went for a musical historical figures. First, they tried to get Jimi Hendrix. They say no, but they actually managed to record Jimi Hendrix on their phone. So they go back to one of his big inspirations, which is Louis Armstrong. And they show the video of Jimmy playing to Louis Armstrong in 1920, and Louis like, damn, just damn, this is amazing. So they go back to get Jimmy, but this time they bring Louis Armstrong, and Jimi Hendrix is like, I don't believe this. He's walking away, and Louis Armstrong just cuts loose on the trumpet, and Jimmy stops, turns around, looks back, and was like, I recognize that playing. And then they get Jimmy, and then they get Mozart, and they get an Asian woman I've never heard of, but apparently she was one of the best flute players to have ever lived. And they go back 10,000 BC to the best drummer who ever lived. But it's an eclectic band they put together to try and help their dads. Because you see, they're not trying to make a band to upstage their dad. They're trying to get a band together so when their dads get the song, they've got a band to play. And they even end up, all of them dying, going to get Death. Death brings them back, and, that there was some fun to be had. And the guy that plays Death, oh, he's so awesome. That guy is such a gem. Such an underrated actor. But, and while that's going on, Bill and Ted, of course, are trying to find the song. So they come up with the bright idea, let's just take it from ourselves. And they keep going forward and forward and forward and forward and forward in their time, in their own lives, trying to get the song. Then they find, they get to finally on their deathbed, Bill and Ted, and they get the song. But it ends up getting destroyed. But there's a callback at the beginning where Rufus left them a watch to a specific time and place that they have to do this song, and it says the story won't make sense until the end. And the little like drive that they were given for the song, Bill and Ted hold it up and realize Logan Preston, and it's not them, it's their daughters, and their daughters love to take music and just pick up bits of music that they like, and then their dads are like, look, we figured it out, you have to write the song. So go write it. And, of course, where they end up, it's like this mile marker out in the middle of a California highway in San Dimas. There happens to be a band set truck that happens to be there, so they rate it. They set up on the back of this flatbed big rig. And the girls, Billy and Theodosia, have to figure out a song between all these eclectic people. And it's really funny how they do it. I mean, they just start like, what do we do? What do we do? It's like, take different, and they start doing it. And it's like, at first, they wanted Death to play. It's like, hey, those 3 notes that we really, really, really liked? Play those notes with the drum. And he starts doing it, and the song starts coming together. And it's just this really cool, eclectic scene of, them taking the best of, all these songs and putting them together in a whole new song. And then Bill and Ted figure out, well, and it's not like, Bill and Ted figure it out and fuck off. No, it's like they realize, we have to get everybody playing it, so we've got to put instruments in the hands of everybody. Well, how the hell can we be everywhere all at once? Well, what's the number for infinity? And the wives are like, hey, we figured it out. You have to, at this rate, at this rhythm, have everybody play. And it's like, well, how do we get there infinite? It's like, and they're starting to dial on this really long conch. It's like, Bill, just press the infinity button. And it's like, oh yeah! And so that's exactly what they do. So they launch up and get launched, and there's just infinite phone booths going everywhere all at once, just handing out instruments to everybody and just saying, play along. And the girls finally, they finally get the song. They tell the band to, wait, stop, Dad, guitars! And they get to the exact time and the exact date and the exact place, and Bill and Ted just start jamming out. Like, they start, the band starts, Bill and Ted jump in along with the wives, and they just start jamming out, and everything harmonizes. It's simple plot, kind of funny in places. The girls, at certain points, kind of upstage their dad, but on the other hand, they're like the perfect complement to their dad. So they make them strong characters in and of their own right, but on the other hand, they don't take the movie away exactly from Bill and Ted. It's just like, it's the swan song. It's the song that Bill and Ted are known for uniting time and space. So, and it happens to be that they figure out it's not them who are writing it, because they've been trying to write this song for 25 years. And they just can't do it. And they realize, we're not the ones who write it. Our daughters do. Preston and Logan. We just happen to play it. And it's not the best way that could have happened, but I think it's still a nice, endearing way, and it gives the girls, a major role in the movie, but they don't upshine their dads, because their dads still have to play the song and do the thing that they're known for throughout time and space and history. So, all in all, like I said, 7 out of 10. Wasn't the best movie ever, and it would be somewhat forgettable, even though I do have it on digital, but there's my review of Bill and Ted. Tell me all what you think of the movie down below if you've seen it. If you haven't, I'm sorry. I warned you. There were spoilers. I'm Jeff. I'll catch you next time.